that's so much unity. That's an insane amount of unity. Alright, time to lose my mind for about 2 hours. This will be interesting. Alright, so he's got multiple pages. Is this one used for anything? No. So I'm going to be using this one. So this, I don't need points in that. Don't need points in anything else. Don't need any of that. Jeez. Does he have PvP gear? Yes. All I need is the ring. Oh. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it like this. So, this here, this here. I'm going to turn off people so I get more FPS.
You must meet the requirements to unequip this item.
Right, so now soul shields are disabled. I've got the ring. I'm going to remove gems except for all the rubies. Rubies, just so I can maximize my crit. So I can crit on cleaves and then get focus back, because focus is the only issue with this. So, weapon, ring. Is there anything else that just gives focus regen? If I need to, I'll put on soul shields, but I don't want to do too much damage to the boss and then end up killing it before I get 10k hits. I don't think I will, but there's always the random chance. Your the soul's long soul, so it's not great for this, because I just need focus regen. Is there anything else that just straight up gives focus regen? Focus regen, focus regen. I mean, this does, but I need to test the weapon's proc rate, so that's not going to work. You know, I'm not going to mess with this soul. I mean, I'm tempted to switch it over to short soul and then switch it back once I'm done, but I'm not going to do that because that's impolite. Is there anything else focus-wise that I could get or use? I don't think so. Is there any sort of focus? I don't think there's any focus regen here. Oh, I can? Alright. If you say so. Because the only thing that slows me down is running out of focus. Pristine oil. Which is... Oh, crap. Is it? Pristine. 13.8. So 26. And... Here we go. 16. Oh, wait, do you want me to switch it back to long at the end of what I'm doing, or just switch it once to short? Actually, I shouldn't have said that verbally. I should have asked him in chat, because... Do you want me to end this with long, or do you want me to end this with short? You know, I'm just going to switch it to short and then leave it as that, because he can always switch it back to long if he wants. So... Oh. And then is there anything else that I need to do? I think I've got everything. Jeez, this is the most gold I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. Okay. And then that will transfer over the Sykes, so I don't have to worry about that. This is going to be my first time. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. This is going to be my first time with Bright Wolf Soul, so this will be interesting. Shoot, what was his gem order? It was this one, this one. This one was at the top, this one was over here, and then this one was down there, I believe. I might have mixed up your gem order. Sorry about that. Yeah. I'm checking both DMs and chat at the same time. So Soul, this. Don't need any badges. PvP rings, better for focus regen than PvE ring. Don't need anything else. Soul shields are off just so I won't do damage. Wait, did I have this? I did not. So I need to go to my chat settings. I need to add another chat. Chat, turn all these off. Just do normal, so that I can cancel. So I think this will only apply to me, but I need to have a say chat window. I'm going to F12. Do I have anything else open that I could close? Yes, I do. I could close this, because this might be lagging slightly, and I don't want any lag if I can help it. Right. Training dummy, partner. Here. Soul, weapon, 3 rubies. Points in offense just cause. Doesn't actually matter.
Your friend has connected
Alright.
to the server.
No. Okay, say, move over here. There we go. Let's do this. Jeez, my ping. What the heck? 1 second. I'm gonna restart the test, but why the heck am I lagging so much? Oh, my router's dying. Yeah, my router's dying. Am I on the right router? Where is it? Okay, yeah, put it here. Yeah, I'm on the right router. That's annoying. So yeah, I'm just gonna be lagging for a bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna be lagging. That sucks.
Our clan member has connected to the server.
Jeez, my ping. Oh, oops. Wait, no, it's better to go to 5, isn't it? Yeah. But I've got to be careful about not to overhit. Alright, now I'm going to wait it up. Yeah, I'm getting back into the rhythm. Though, this is going to take forever, because I'm lagging so much and therefore can't get all the hits per second that I should. God damn.
A clan member has connected to the server.
Gosh. The amount of lag that I'm experiencing right now is disgusting. Oh my god. So that's 2 more, so that's 8. Gosh. Hey, my ping's going down. It's a goddamn miracle. And then my ping's back up. Oh, there we go. 13. 13 stacks so far in 220 hits. That's slightly higher than expected, but it'll even back out. God, this is so painful. Alright, since it got to 9 seconds, I'm going to stop there and let it reset so that I don't waste time on a 5-stack proc. Because that's 2 stacks, yeah, so that's 20. So 23. So that's a 3-stack. I'm gonna wait a little, wait for that to fall off, and then I'm gonna keep going.
A clan member is connected to the server.
Alright, and then 24. How many hits have I had? About 500. So yeah, I'm about on par. I think. Because if I had 25 over 500 hits, yeah, that's exactly 5%. So I'm on exactly where I'm expected to be, given my anticipated proc rate. This ping, though, feels so bad. Oh. Oh. Okay, there we go. 29. God, this feels so bad. I hate this ping so much. 31. I'm surprised I haven't overhit any. And again, it's sort of hard to overhit when you're hitting this slow. Oh, this feels so much better. And then as soon as I say that, it starts to lag again. Yes, so far it is. And everything except for Baleful, and then I never tested Seraph because Seraph requires you to get hit, and that's a pain in the ass. And I didn't test Baleful myself, but someone I know tested Baleful, and Baleful was like 7. They got a recorded 7.8% proc rate over 2,400 or 3,400 hits. So it's a significant sample size. And it's probably because Baleful has 10 stacks and raid weapons have less than 10. I like how 7 people are watching me just suffer through lag and this torture that I put myself through. Like, you guys are crazier than I am. You guys are legitimately really crazier. Oh, they are? Okay. Well, I've had 22 people watch me do this before. That was ridiculous. Fucking masochists, all of them. All my pings. All of this ping. Right. Right. So if you guys see it, that's all I need. Oh, yes. This is the ping I want. This is the ping I'm used to. Oh. So what is that, 40? Yeah, that's 40. So, and I'm only at... So yeah, I'm about on par, still. Right, 42, and then I'm going to take a second to refresh my stream window. There we go. Now I can see the stream, and not just the chat. Not that the chat's bad, mind you. Wait, if I just close the preview, I close the preview, does that get me my ping back? Oh my god, it does. Alright, I'm no longer previewing my own stream, ever. Alright, so 47. Jeez, who knew? Yeah, I did not know that that was a thing. I used to be able to stream and preview my own stream, and it worked like a charm. But now, I don't know what happened, but it actually just kills my entire internet. Oops, I overhit one. Fuck. Yeah. So for anyone new to me doing this, overhitting is when I hit during a 5-stack proc, and I have to exclude that hit from the dataset because it literally can't stack another weapon stack. So I have to disregard that one, and therefore now I've got to get to 10,001 hits instead of 10,000. That's why I'm always so careful about overhitting, because overhitting is a pain in the ass. And technically it shouldn't mess with the data as long as I just exclude it, but if they've got any sort of weird workings internally on like dynamic proc rates based on how long it's been since your last weapon proc, that'll fuck with everything. 54, yeah. So I have to be very careful about that. And then I wait it out if it's not a 5-stack proc and it's less than 9 seconds, 9 seconds or less, because 5-stack procs are 10 seconds, and essentially I'm taking more time by building up to that 5-stack proc instead of just waiting out the previous proc if it got less than 9 seconds remaining. Also, it gives me more time to record the number of stacks that I have before it expires, which means that I'm more likely to not get confused and have to clip my own stream in order to see how many stacks I had, and that's also a huge time saver. I know. 59 minus 1. Right? Yep, that's a 5-stack proc. It's a pretty nice 5-stack proc. Crap, one more overhit. So what is that? 64 minus 2. Ugh. Yeah. 9, -2. These procs are crazy. Ooh, I didn't overhit that time. Got lucky. Yeah, you can. Yep, you can tell because the Mystic, the 10-second Mystic proc, and the 5-stack expired at the same time. If I overhit, it'll be desynced. The Mystic will last longer than the 5-stack.
A clan member has connected to the server.
30 minutes in. That's 75 -2. So I should be about, actually, I don't know, 3,750 hits? No, that's, my math isn't right at all. Why the hell did I think that? I should be about 1,400, right? Time to get out a calculator and just do the math. 75 divided by 1387? No, 86. So that's slightly over 5%. So yeah, that's still on par with what I should be. Right. 76 -2. So when I'm done with this, I should have about 500 stacks. Yeah. So when I'm getting close to like 450, I'll start looking. God, that's so far away.
A clan member has connected to the server.
I can already hear my brain start to melt and ooze out my ears. But I've got to do it, or someone has to. Is every single new weapon, people are like, it seems to be proccing more, but it seems to be proccing less. No, there's like no way that NC West would actually change their proc rates on their weapons. It's just, they're too lazy. They're way too lazy. Is this dragon lag? I don't think so. Is that 86 -2? But I don't think dragons for a while longer. Okay, this soul proc icon is so nice. I really want to get that soul now. But that's way more gold than I have. I think I've got like 99 gold, 87 silver, and 13 copper on my main. Or on my account. Fucking broke as hell. Trying to remember what I did to spend all my gold. I know I went GC9 a while ago. Troubles, I asked you for a favor. You're doing me a solid. You're doing me a huge solid. Because otherwise I'd have to wait and listen to people being like, oh, ET weapon's got a higher proc rate than TT weapon for weeks or months before I get my own ET weapon and be able to do this. Like, you're saving me so much headache. You have no idea. Oops. Fuck, one overhit. 94 minus 3. Damn it. Oh. I look away for 2 seconds and all of a sudden I've got 4 stacks. It could have been bad. I could have gotten 5 stacks and then had to clip it to see how many times I overhit. Crap, that's another overhit. 99 minus 4. Yeah. Wait, was it 2 overhits? Uh-oh. Um... Crap. Oh, I want to die so bad. I hate doing this. Alright. No. Load, please. Please, thing. Oh, no, no. It's lagging again. Oh, hold up. Oh, that was only 1 overhit. That's surprising. Oh, wow. You are so fast. I didn't even... Okay, so that was 99 minus 4. Which means that I should be about... Yeah, slightly over 2k hits. So that's slightly under 5%. So I'm right about where I should be. Dang. Yeah, because both my Raven 1 and my GC6 tests were like... The Raven 1 was 4.74, and then the GC6 was 4.86 or something. So it's still slightly higher, but within the standard deviation of 101 minus 3 of 5%. So it's probably just statistical error based on not an infinite sample size. But it's interesting that both of them were lower than 5%. Then again, that's probably just random chance playing into it. Oh, wait, I need to turn off the stream preview. That's why I'm lagging again. Fawn. There we go. crap, that's an overhit. So that's 106 minus 5.
A clan member has connected to the server.
Crap, that's an overhit again. 1 minus 6. That's an overhit again. 1, 6, minus 7. The longer I do this, the more overhits I get, because I just get lazier and lazier. Right. Minus 7. Yep. Okay. I mean, the viewers don't matter. That's for... Crap, I overhit again. 1, 2, 3, minus 8. Yeah, I mean, the viewers don't matter. I just need to remember to actually transfer this over to my YouTube so that I actually have video of me doing it. Because I did 2 of these before, one with Raven 9, one with GC6, and I forgot to transfer them over to my YouTube before they got auto-deleted by Twitch, and that was a sad day. Oh, that was 4 stacks so quickly. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 7, minus 8. I'll look at the DMs in a second. There we go. And I didn't overhit that time. So 132 minus 8, and then check DMs. Oh, someone else is DMing me. Oh, someone's someone's DMing me anime recommendations. Damn it. Oh. Alright. 133 minus 8. And today is Friday, right? Yes, today's Friday. Good. I just had a thought. and I wasn't sure if I had raid tonight or not. That could have been bad. But no, it's tomorrow. We were the group that cleared after you. Your group was 5th in NA. We are 6th. We killed it on Tuesday. Yeah, so... And then, crap, that was an overhit. 138. Nope, not... that could have been a weird typo. But no, so we killed 3. Number 1 was hallucination. Yeah, number 1 was hallucination. I don't know who was after that. I can ask people in my raid if you want to know, because we were talking about it. Okay, so White Album. Jeez. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of people. So hallucination. No, there was. Wait, or we no? You guys are Praetorian, so you guys were like 4th or 5th. I know that my group was 6th, and then the following day, Wednesday, we cleared 1 through 3 in 2.5 hours, including a 30-minute break to wait for someone to get back from work, which is absolutely disgusting. 3rd, you know what? I'm just gonna ask my braid. They probably know. I'm gonna, or I can ask an academy. No, actually, it was surprisingly few China clans. I know that much. I know hallucination was first. Wait, wasn't one of the early ones Homura? I think they were. I could be wrong about that. I very well could be wrong. Oh, they're not? I expected them to be. I'll be completely honest. Way after this. Oh wow, that's surprising. Because they're a pretty big clan. They're like the main Crimson clan. Oh geez, that's 4 stacks again. That's an overhit. So 143 minus 10. That's surprising. Yeah, we cleared. You know what? Just because I want to flex, I'm going to find the video of our first clear, because we recorded it, our first clear of boss 3, and then put it in chat. Because flex. Why am I doing this again? To test the proc rate ET weapon. Because people keep saying that ET weapon has a higher proc rate than TT weapon. And it doesn't. Like, if you look at my data right now, 143, and I've got a total of 2711 hits, except 10 of those don't count. So it's 2,701 hits. So if I do that, 143 divided by 2,701, then not 271, 2,701, because I can't type now, apparently. 5.2943%. The proc rate that I recorded with GC6 was 4.86%. Well, not gave. He's letting me borrow. The absolute boss that he is. So yeah, there's no statistical significant change in proc rate between TT weapon and ET weapon. You know, if people just gave me their accounts, like, ugh, I wouldn't know what to do with them. Slept next time, slept them. I mean, yeah, but the problem is that it's mostly players who don't know how statistics works, and then people who don't know any better and are just hear E2 weapon has a higher proc rate, and then they just sheeple it. 147 minus 10. I mean, honestly, if I were to ban everyone from Academy who would not accept that all raid weapons have an equal proc rate, or all weapons above Baleful have an equal proc rate, I would have probably banned 50, 100 people by now. Before doing these 10,000 hit tests. The 10,000 hit tests are enough of a pain in my ass to where people are like, okay, he's not just saying this. Like, I've done 2,200 hit tests before, but apparently once you do 10,000 hits, people actually believe you. I mean, yeah, people are full of shit. I mean, I keep like getting DMs from like new players being like, is XYZ actually good? I heard it was. And they're like, no, it's not. And they said, well, ABC person said it was, and I said, I don't, I, I really want to say, don't trust people that aren't me to give you accurate information. But I'm too lazy to be around all the time to give accurate information. Crap, that's an overhit. So 155 minus 11. But no, there's an incredible amount of misinformation going around, and I try and counter it every single chance I get, but I am only a single person. No, I'm probably going to end up swapping over to streaming in Blade and Soul around like 5,000 hits, because I'm going to get too bored to actually... I'll need people in chat just to keep me occupied and entertained. Crap, that's an overhit. 160 minus 12. You didn't see 66 server. I got 100 game. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know people's Discord names, so I don't know. I got 20k more with 20k Mal. That sentence doesn't make sense, by the way. But no, I don't know people's 10k more damage. Oh, I mean, for Earth, ET Neck is better. For Earth Destroyer, it is 100% better at stage 3 than Prophecy. For Shadow, I have done, I think, a total of like 4 or 5 tests. Okay, this is 163 minus 12. I've done 4 or 5 tests with Shadow, and Shadow is doing more damage with Prophecy than with ET. Yeah, Earth does more damage with ET at stage 3. Shadow does more damage with Prophecy than ET stage 6, because that's what I have right now. If I had... if I had like more mats, I could go ET stage 10 and then see if ET stage 10 is better than Prophecy Awakened Prophecy on Shadow without 8 set and Warsong badge, but meh. Okay, so that's 167 minus 12. 10 is 0 pop off. Interesting. You know, I don't know. I didn't know the damage curve for ET Neck at all. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if 8 set ET will be enough on its own to make even stage 6. Okay, so like given stage 6 ET neck and Awakened Prophecy necklace, I'm not sure that 8 set ET will be enough on its own to make. That's an overhit. 172 minus 13. To make ET neck stage 6 better than Awakened Prophecy necklace. The reason why Earth is able to get DPS from it and Shadow is not is purely due to the level 60 passive. 35% Mystic during Driving Force, or Brute Force, or whatever, for 10 seconds after you Fury. So this is why Earth is able to do it, because they've got a higher uptime on Fury. They use Fury more often, therefore they've got a higher uptime on this buff. The thing about ET 8 set and the new badge for Shadow that bring it around in terms of the ET necklace, excuse me, is that it's 10% more cooldown reduction on Fury, and then it's also with the badge, which is currently a DPS loss, even with the ET necklace, according to my tests, it reduces Fury's cooldown when Gale Force hits. So essentially, you've got less Fury, you've got more Fury uptime, and then you've got even more with this, and you can actually use this because you've got more cooldown on Execute, and so Execute uptime isn't a problem, which it currently is with War Song and 3-set TT. Limitless does not have issues, and Limitless actually has a slight issue where, yeah, I must say that's interesting. I mean, Destro, like literally, I'm going to gain about 20% DPS from my 8 set ET as a Shadow Destro. Probably 20% on its own, and then probably another 10% multiplicatively when I start using War Song and my ET necklace with the thing. My brain just stopped. I don't even know what I was talking about. All right, I should get back to doing this, because otherwise I'm going to be here for much longer than I'd like to be. Oh, yeah, 8 set ET is like absolutely disgusting for Destro. Both Earth and Shadow. What is Earth? I mean, Shadow gains an insane amount. Earth, I'm not sure. Wait, ET Neck or ET Soul Shields? Shadow gets insane DPS increase from ET Soul Shields. 1 second. 173 minus 13. Is it bad? So, Earth is really good at ET gear purely because of the badge. The badge is absolutely insane for Earth Destroyer. It's a 12% DPS increase. To give you an idea, I think Fire BM's badge is like a 4 to 6% increase. Same thing with Shadowson, I think. Can't remember off the top of my head, to be completely honest with you. So 4 to 6%. And then some have slightly lower than that. I think Fire FM gains like 2 to 3% from ET badge. Earth Destroyer gets 12% DPS increase. That's insane. That's disgusting. And then ET Neck for Earth is like 2 to 4% DPS increase on top of badge, which is crazy. Well, it's not crazy, but it's good. And then I'm not sure how much they gain. They should gain a good bit from ET Soul Shields, ET8 set. I don't know how much though. I'm asking someone right now actually to give me the numbers that I can use to draw that conclusion. Over Mal. I'm not talking about VT Neck at all. VT Neck is like I don't even mention it. Mainly because I don't know how VT Neck compares for each class after Awakening. I knew the DPS increase from VT Neck Awaken 3 to Mao Stage 10 prior to Awakening, but with Awakening, I no longer know the values, so I don't even mention it. I'm only talking about Mad Neck. But yeah, Shadow gets incredible amounts of DPS from it. Not because of the badge. The badge kind of sucks. It's like 2 to 4% DPS increase. It's not bad. Actually, I think it's even less than that. I think it's 1 to 2%. Yeah, it's 1 to 2%. I did the math earlier. So it's 1 to 2% from badge, which is absolutely god awful. Necklace, I'm not sure how much it is at stage 10. It's necklace is I don't know. But the big thing is 8 set ET. He's in 20% on its own for Shadow. And I know that because Kisu, the Destroyer, he had I think he was still using Limitless at that point. So he was using Limitless, this badge, this soul or slightly higher, and 8 set ET was a 20% DPS increase for him over 5 ET, 3 TT. So essentially, with Limitless, that's 20%. And then with Warsong, he gained even more DPS. I'm not sure how much more. I think it was like 3 to 7%, somewhere in there. I don't remember. It's been a while since he did that. Wait, where are your repairs? Oh, you have none. Is it still 6? Yeah, it's 6. Actually, I'm gonna start showing you Blade Soul now, because I'm... yeah. Um, why am I lagging so much? Let me just completely hide that. Oh, my router is dying. Okay, so it's not me. It's my router being gay. Or horrible, or whatever. My router is committing seppuku. Oops, crap. I completely lost track of what I was doing. Can someone clip that and tell me how many times I overhit? It's probably like 5. 5 or 6. Okay. I can clip it myself. Let's see. Alright. Wait, I need to pause the stream preview. 4? Was it only 4? That's not too bad. Move this thing, please. Yeah, I'm going back to watch myself as well. Okay. Oh, and then I freeze. No. Why is my internet dying? Nope. Oh my gosh. This is buffering so slow. Please buffer faster. Please. I want to see how many times I overhit. Come on. You can load. You know you can do it. Fawn. Oh gosh. Please. Please load. I'm going to reload the whole page. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it was 4. Yeah, you were right. I'm just going to trust you. All right. So yeah, that was 4, so minus 17. 17. Oh, gosh. Yeah, in the future, I'm just going to trust my chat, because my internet's so slow right now. I didn't run off. I dragged myself, sort of. I did not run. Let's put it that way. I jogged. More like the right half of myself pulled the left half of myself against its will. Oh, that's 1 overhit. So 199 minus 18. Sounds like running for a pacer test. Oh my god. Yeah, sort of is. And this really is a pacer test. Oh my god, I'm only a third of the way there, and I've been for an hour. Then again, I did take like a 10-minute break to explain DPS increases at ET gear for Destroyer. So how do you make the counts for Earth deaths? Are you asking like what things actually matter when parsing Earth deaths, or are you asking like how do you determine ratios? Or how do I determine like the percent increase and decrease in DPS for XYZ thingamajig? The new badge ratio changed. Oh, So wait, how do you calculate? Wait, okay. So you're talking about Wildborn versus Ancestral, right? What exactly do you mean? How do you? 1 second. 194 minus 18. How do you make the counts for Earth Deaths? I mean, the way that I make the counts, that I determine the parts counts, is I generally the easiest way is to do a parse, like on dummy. Keep parsing until I get one where I NA cancel to the best of my ability, which is like perfect because my ping's really low, or near perfect because over the course of 6 minutes, 8 minutes, I cannot consistently NA cancel every single time. And then I just take the number of hits, divide by the amount of time that I parsed, and that's the ratio. And that's for every class, everything. Every class has its own ratios. So that's what I do, and then generally I start with those as like the optimal ratio, and then I subtract. What? It's like 15% of the maximum in order to get the like the minimum. So like I got 20, yeah, so it's like 15% less than the maximum count is like the count that people should go for or be above. At least for like the parse calculator that I made with the help of Masterhawk. Now, if you're just asking like how do you get the counts, that's how. If you're asking how did the counts change, that's an overhead. 203 minus 19. The counts changed not much for Earth. Like the number of cleaves per second, I don't really think changed. Number of wraths per second went down. The number of wraths per fury went down slightly. I think it went from like 2122 to 1920. So not a huge change there, just a couple. The number of Emperor Stomps increased, the number of Smashes increased, the number of Mighty Cleaves increased slightly. But really, for the most part, the ratios didn't change much at all yet. But with 8 set ET, the ratios are going to change pretty significantly because more Fury uptime means more Wraths, less Cleaves, more Mighty Cleaves, because you're doing less of what I'm doing, just holding Cleave, and you're doing more of the actual Fury anti-cancel. Furthermore, you're also going to get more Smashes, or maybe the same amount of Smashes, because you're cleaving less, so you get less effect from the Wildborn badge, but then you also have an additional 10% smash cooldown reduction. So that's going to be an interesting interaction. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out. It's going to take some data, and I've asked someone to do some parses for me and give me his ratios, because he's got Wildborn and 8 set ET. So hopefully I get that data soon, and then I'll be able to. There's a couple of Earth Destroyers in Korea that I also look at, because their ping is so much lower than anything that we have in NA. And I don't really know any EU Destroyers, and their ping's better, but their game still runs like garbage, similar to NA. So I'm probably going to still look at KR Destroyers, just sort of see what type of ratios they have. Because like the number one KR Earth Destroyer, he did a couple parses a while ago, right when he got 8 set ET and Wildborn, and his ratio for Wildborn was 1.7 Mighty Cleaves per second, 1.5 Cleaves per second, which is actually ridiculous. Because currently what we're getting is like 1.7 cleaves per second max and 1.5 mighty cleaves per second, or at least that was before the new badge, 212 minus 19. So essentially they swapped ratios, which is actually a really big deal. I mean, it's sort of weird with Destroyer, because you're not... Okay, that's an overhit. So 217 minus 20. So with Destroyer, you're not looking for one skill. Because with like Shadow Warlock, for example, you're just trying to get the most helixes per second. Now you've got two different types of helixes. Helix. So are you doing two ratio slots? Okay, I'll get there in a second. So with Destroyer, you've got two different skills that you're trying to maximize the hits per second of. With Shadow Warlock, you're just trying to get the most helixes per second, and so you do Awaken Helix plus normal Helix divided by time. With Destroyer, and you're trying to maximize that one ratio. With Destroyer, you've got two different skills that are doing the majority of your damage. For Earth, it's Cleave and Mighty Cleave. For Shadow, it's Eradicate and Gale Force. 222 minus 20. So, thank you, YouTube. I will in a second. Actually, I'll do that now, if I can find my YouTube link. How the heck do I... Oh. Is it this? Is this the right thing? If I do this, do I go to my YouTube channel? Wait, did I lose counterstacks? I did not. So here's my YouTube. What was I talking about? Oh, so essentially, Destroyer is the most annoying to make a parse calculator for, because as of right now, there are two viable weapon paths for Earth. Dungeon Path is still viable, though at ET tier, it should no longer be viable, simply because ET tier Dungeon Path does not gain any sort of significant bonus in order to keep it in line with ET Raid Path. ET Raid Path, as if you can see, has this really nice effect that's horribly translated in English. What this actually does is, after 15 first hits of Cleave or Mighty Cleave, aka 15 hits of Cleave or 15 first hits of Mighty Cleave, and it counts both of them at the same time, they count up to a single 15 stack, it will do 900% of your attack power as bonus modifier to your next Cleave. That's how it works. Bonus modifier means that it can crit. It does crit communally with the rest of the hit. It does get affected by Soul Shield. It is affected by things like Mystic. It does... there's one other thing that it does that's important. Mystic. Oh, it can, I already mentioned it critting. So modifier is much better than just additional damage. Now the thing about... So that's what ET Weapon does. There's no effect that ET tier Dungeon Path Weapon has to increase its DPS to keep it in line with ET Raid Path. There just isn't. It's just slightly higher numbers on Shadowforge, which makes it definitively worse than Thornbreaker. So eventually, hopefully really soon, like with ET, Dungeon Path will no longer be viable and I'll no longer have to support it, quote unquote support it. But currently, I have to check for, do you have Raid Path or Dungeon Path? Because Dungeon Path reduces the cooldown of Fury, which means that your ratios are going to be different because you're going to have more Fury uptime and therefore more anti-cancel and less Cleaves. So I've got to do that. Then there's also the badge. Do you have Ancestral or do you have Wildborn? Fairly obvious. Ancestral is going to have more Wraths, slightly. Wildborn is going to have more Mighty Cleaves, less Cleaves. Until CC shoots okay with each shoot, of course. Yes, exactly. And then there's also the soul shields, because again, with ET8 set, you have 30% Fury cooldown, not 20%. TT3 set gives 20%, VT3 set gives, VT8 set gives 20%, TT8 set gives 30%. So that's going to change your ratios again. So I have a total of 8. 2 times 2 times 2, because 2 weapons, 2 badges, 2 sets of soul shields that I have to support the ratios for, which is absolutely just I cannot even, like, the amount of work that it's going to take me to maintain ratios for both of those in a calculator. Like, I don't even. I really wish that the dungeon weapon wasn't viable, because that would cut the number of different ratio sets in half. Instead of it being 8, it's 4. 4's still kind of high, but it's more doable than 8. And I've got to have either people I know who are good and have good ping, or I have to just have a large enough sample size, aka enough people doing parses, in order to get good numbers for the optimal ratios for Earth, with all different 8 sets of gear, which is just, ugh. The amount of headache that I have over that, like, don't... It's partially that, but then, even then, a lot of the people who play Shadow don't have great ping or are great at the game. So I couldn't really use them anyway. Because, finding decent ratios is easy. I can pretty much guess decent ratios. But I've seen 3 different... So there's 3 different ratio sets that I have to consider for Raid Path, ET 8 set, Destroyer with Wildborn. And I don't know which one's the most damage, and therefore I don't know which one to say, this is the one you should go for. There is 1.5 mighty cleaves per second, 1.7 cleaves per second. That's the same as the Ancestral one. That one's probably not best. Now there's 1.65 cleaves per second, 1.65 mighty cleaves per second, which I have a parts of someone doing with, I believe it's 8 set ET, though it may well not be. I can't remember now, and I'm going to go check. I don't have stacked, so I don't have to worry about that. He only has 3 sets, so that's probably something that you can do with 8 set, or you could get higher. Well, actually, yeah, that's probably the best you can do with 3 set. And then there's the 1.7 mighty cleaves per second, 1.5 cleaves per second, which is probably the most DPS of the 3 setups, but I don't know. I need to get data and figure that out to figure out which one should be the optimal ratio set for Earth. And that's a lot of work. And a lot of headache. An incredible amount of headache. Oh, but back to what I was talking about with, the Shadow Warlock thing. So Shadow Warlock just maximizes 1. Okay. 2, 28, minus 21. They just maximize 1 count. With Destroyer, you've got 1 count that you've got 2 counts that you really want to maximize. I'm just going to use Shadow example because I'm a Shadow main. You've got Gale Force and you've got Eradicate. But the more times you Gale Force, the less times you Eradicate, because you can't cast both Eradicate and Gale Force at the same time. It's literally impossible. So the more you Gale Force, the less you're going to Eradicate. But you still want to have as many Eradicates as possible, because free DPS. So it's very much... Destroyer is sort of weird to balance the ratios for, because yes, you're trying to get max on one ratio, but you don't want to do it to the detriment of your other ratios. So it's all very annoying. Now that's an extra. 233 minus 22. So yeah, it's all very weird and very annoying and not a whole ton of fun to mentor for. But, I mean, it's not bad. It's all very annoying, but honestly, I don't think anyone else would do it if I didn't do it. Maybe there would be, but there'd also be a lot more misinformation and just general BS floating around the Destroyer community. And considering how small the Destroyer community is, there's a surprising amount of BS, even with me here. So I would be very worried about the play of any Destroyer anywhere, because they just would be playing with inaccurate information, and therefore making suboptimal or plain wrong choices about gear, etc. Yeah, that's +4. Yeah, it's just all very weird. That's an overhead. 242 minus 24. 247 minus 24. PV group is how long is it fixed? Or how long people say bugs will it isn't? Yeah, I don't know how long it's been fixed. Probably. I heard that it was still broken when Awakening released, but I never tested it myself because I never used PvP Bracelet. I just wasn't a fan of the playstyle that it encouraged, so I never got it, never used it. But I heard that it was still bugged when Awakening came out. But then again, I don't know. And it's currently fixed. I don't know how long it's been fixed. None of that. So it's all very, yeah. And then a lot of people don't know how like the internal mechanics of this game work, like combat log and how it actually shows different damage sources like the weapon. And 1 second, 251 minus 24. Like weapon and bracelet and all that as separate lines, even though they're all part of the same hit. People don't really know that, and so a lot of people get confused about that, and they're like, I don't know if this thing is doing damage or not, and I just tell them, well, look at combat log. Is it showing a separate line in combat log? And then people were saying that I think Misa, actually, who's generally a really good source of information for the game in general, and also for BM specifically, 256 minus 24. And they said that Third Spec BM had an unintentional feature, is what I'm going to call it, where they procced weapons, bracelets, badges, like the weapon additional skill modifiers, twice on their RMB in Soulblade stance. Now, I had someone test it in NA a couple days ago, and it does not. It just hits twice in Soulblade stance. It only hits once in regular stance. But yeah, like, even there, that's inaccurate information that was being spread around by a good information source, a reliable source of information, but this time made a mistake or something, or China's got a different version of the game files for that weapon. 261 minus 24. Yeah, so ended up having that tested for me, and it does not proc things multiple times, which is good. Because if it did, then that'd be absolutely busted and broken and disgusting. No, third spec BM's just busted, broken, and disgusting because they've got really high damage ratios on their skills. So it's not anything that's actually an issue. It's just them being overtuned. Hello, Todd. Welcome to Red's Pain and Suffering version 3. Best soul shield set for PvP Shadow Deaths. I mean, PvP Shadow Deaths. I mean, really, the best set is 100% going to be 3 set TT, 5 set Avenging. 100%. Like, there's no way that it isn't. Just because the amount of damage that you get on your execute there is absolutely disgusting. It's like, what, 200% additional damage, so total of 3 times the base damage of execute, which is just like there's no way that that's not amazing. 67 minus 24. So yeah, that's definitely the best. How are you calculating the damage? I'm not calculating damage. Wait. 8 avenging? Yeah, no. That's no. There's no way that's good. Now the real question for Shadow Destroyer 6v6 is: do you use Eon or do you use Limitless? Because with Limitless, you get more Ember Stomps, so more CC immunity, and then you also get more executes, which means that you get more insane burst damage. And so that's an overhead. 2 minus 25. So that's really the question. But with Eon, yeah, you get more shield. So I personally think that it's situational. If you're going to be team fighting a lot and in large brawls, then you definitely want to be using Limitless for the executes. But if you're going to be soloing things and just stalling, I would definitely say use Eon. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely better to use 3 TT, 5 Avenging, because more red spin damage isn't going to help you on Shadow. It's really not. And there's like one other modifier. It's like, I think it's a Blitz cooldown modifier. That's completely irrelevant. We know it's a Fury modifier and then also a Blitz cooldown modifier or something. But yeah, that's irrelevant. Like, there's no way that that's actually any good. Because the Fury cooldown doesn't really matter for Shadow, and you get that with 3 set TT anyway, so it's just better to run nothing. And then I saw the other question. I'll get to it once I calculate, or record that sec. How am I calculating the damage? I'm not currently calculating damage. If you're talking about the thing where I was talking about soul shields and how, like, you get 100% damage from 3 set, because it says smash damage increases by 100%, and then, does this guy have avenging? He does. So then, if you look there, smash damage increases 100%, so it's plus 100%, plus 100%, so that's plus 200%. So 100% base damage plus 200% bonus damage equals 300% total damage. So you take the base damage of the skill, multiply it by 3, and get the modified damage for 3 set TT plus 3 set avenging. Now, if you're talking about what I'm recording in chat, I'm not recording damage at all. I'm counting how many stacks I get, and then the minus number is how many times I've hit during a 5-stack proc. And I have to exclude those hits from the data set, because you literally cannot proc your weapon stack during a 5-stack. 5 is the maximum. So I have to exclude those, and then I'm counting how many stacks I get, and this thing's counting how many times I hit. So I eventually take number of stacks divided by number of times I hit minus the number of times that I hit during a 5-stack proc, and that'll get me the measured proc rate of ET weapon. Whew. Speaking of proc rate, 278 went up. No, that's not a calculator. That is not a calculator at all. That's a notepad. 278 divided by 5271. 5.2714%. So that's within enough standard deviations away. Like that's just so I'm still around 5%. So that's good. So wait, this guy had 8 set of ending. What does it give you? Q cooldown, Q damage, Fury cooldown. And the Q cooldown is interesting because that'll allow you to. 279 minus 25. That'll allow you, like with Limitless Badge, will allow you to Ember Stomp more. But I don't think that that 30% cooldown, which is equal to what, 9 seconds off of this, right? So that would leave you with 21-second cooldown red spin, which sounds nice, but you get an additional 100% damage and some RMBNF damage on 3-set TT. Like, I don't see how that could be better. Yeah, you get some more defensive stats. How do you like Wolf KFM in 6v6? I have not gone against it. I know that it's very strong. I've known that it's very strong. I'm not intentionally avoiding 6v6. I'm not doing 6v6 for other reasons, but Wolf KFM is strong. I'm well aware of it. The burst class that specializes in AoE damage. Or rather, they're an AoE class that specializes in burst damage. Like, there's no way that it won't be strong. And I've also seen like vids of it one-shotting everything, so I'm well aware of how it works and what it does. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Wolf. You know? Like the whole thing outside of Wolf form, like the whole combo thing, like that's interesting. That's cool. That's definitely something KFM-esque. Like that makes sense. The whole turning into a wolf part, not quite sure how I feel about that. But honestly, I wonder if it's more of a thing where they were like, okay, we said that we would make third specs. We need to make a third spec for KFM. What the heck are we gonna do? And they're like, why don't we make it into a wolf? Because why not? Something new, something interesting, something with a unique gimmick. Why not do it? Just so it's in the game. I mean, I'm very worried with how they're going to do Destroy third spec, which should be soon. Simply because it's past time when we should have got it. We got Archer instead of Destroyer third spec. I'm very worried about what they're going to do with Destroyer third spec. Because I honestly do not trust them within 100 meters of Destroyer. Because nothing I've seen suggests that they know how Destroyer functions as a class, or how it plays. And also, I am firmly of the belief that Destroyer needs a systemic rework. Because I think it absolutely sucks as a class and should not continue to exist as it is. Not because, like, the whole deflect thing's really cancerous, and I'm well aware of that, but it's also so gimmicky and reliant on the spin and the deflect that it does not function outside of that. Like, BD, without, like, they've got the spin, deflect, and they also function as a class outside. Like, they barely even use the spin deflect. Meanwhile, like, that's the entirety of Destroyer's kit. as far as they're aware. That's an overhit. 296 minus 26. So yeah, I am very concerned about Third Strike Destroyer. Don't worry, they're gonna fuck this, but even harder. I mean, considering what they've done with with Assassin post Awakening, I think they've got a pretty good idea of how Assassin works as a class and how it plays. Like, some of the things that they added for Assassin are really good quality of life changes, and like they feel good. Now, yes, there have been some issues with it, with the implementation of it, but overall they had a pretty good idea of where to go with it. With Destroyer, they changed almost nothing. They give us 2 more seconds on Fury with a specific talent. They gave us slightly more CC. They changed Shield in ways that it probably shouldn't have been changed and function very weirdly in how they are changed. And then they gave us a couple of quality life fixes because of things that they removed, specifically modified proc rates on skills, because Eradicate and Gale Force for Shadow Destroyer used to proc things 50% more often, so a 5% proc rate item would have a 7.5% of observed proc rate with Shadow Destroyer, but only on Eradicate and Gale Force. And they removed that from every class that had modified proc rates. Wind BD, Fire KFM, Shadow Destroyer, that's 4 stacks, yes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're a defense class who spins. That's it. We do no damage, we've done no damage. Our party utility, aka Sheath, is getting worse and worse as time goes on. Yes, we protect people when they're rezzing, and I really like that. And we can also carry people away while they're dead bodies, which I also really like. But I wish that we could bring away the fully dead bodies. That'd be cool. Wouldn't make us any better. It'd just be an interesting interaction, like being able to pick up a dead body and like move it to where someone could cat res them. That'd be cool. I'd like that. But no, we do no damage, and so far, like, Wolf KFM is good for burst and nothing else. DPS-wise, wins better for sustain fights, last I checked at least. Spirit BM's absolutely busted. That's an overhit. And then, I'm not sure what they're going to do with Destro. Like, Destro needs to get 2-shotted by Destro as well. I mean, you're also undergeared. And I'm not talking about 6v6 right now. I'm talking about PvE. Like, Destroyer PvE damage is absolutely awful. It's so bad. I mean, honestly, I'm more of a PvE player. I fully admit it. I play for PvE. I'm a huge fan of PvE. I'm not a huge fan of Arena. I do it sometimes because I'm decent at it, and I need the PvE materials that you get from doing Arena. No, I play this game for the PvE content. And so I'm personally much more worried about the PvE state of Destroyer, considering how we are almost 30% lower DPS than highest DPS class in Korea, and then we are also significantly worse than the highest DPS classes in NA. All skills have the same percent to proc a stack, right? Yes. All skills right now have well, not all skills, all hits have a equal chance to proc items. If I know all weapons that are currently available, aka weapons that are not Baleful and Seraph, and then not PvP weapons, because those are 100% proc rate, except for maybe Galaxy, but whatever. They've got a 5% proc rate. I'm not sure about other items. I think, yeah, I did test with rubies. I believe it's a 5% proc rate. I don't know, like I'm just gonna do this. I'm not sure, like this on boss proc. I'm not sure if it's 5% or not. I don't know. I also don't know like what the proc rate for these things are. I don't know. No clue. I'm guessing they're 5% just because NC Soft has a tendency to be lazy, but I honestly have no idea. PvE hype, yes. I think some of the things Shadow Sin are good, but I argue that Serpent Sin is one of the Oh, I call Shadow Sin. I call them Lightning and Serpent as long as I remember. If I don't remember them, then I call them Lightning and Shadow. Um, one of the yes, it's got a ton of clunky mechanics purely because of its animations, in my opinion. Its animations are very weird, and could use some smoothing out. Though it is in a much better state in Korea, purely because those animations aren't as much of a problem because they've got such low ping. Yes, so that's the thing. PV materials from arena are shit compared to 66. That is true, but I can also 1v. I can solo arena and do pretty well. 66, if I get a incompetent team or like 2 AFKs or whatever, I can't do anything about that. And the amount of agency that I have there is incredibly low and makes it unfun for me. One with new BM is a joke. Yeah, I've also stayed away from PvP in general with new BM and new KFM because 66 is absolutely dominated by Wolf, and 1v1's pretty much absolutely dominated by new BM. I mean, I'm not good enough to be at 1800 for any ladder, honestly, except for maybe TOI. If there was a TOI rank ladder like that, I would probably be pretty high, considering I am right here. I am right here. This is me. 11 seconds. I could get faster, but I don't care that much. But yeah, I mean, I can't do like top Mao or anything because I am not uber whale and therefore can't have. I don't have the top gear. Uh, Meanwhile, TOI is much more a combination of gear and skill, or not even skill, just like class knowledge. So I can do well there because I'm very knowledgeable about all the classes. But yeah, my gear is definitely lackluster compared, especially since we got new soul and new heart and all that. And just not. That was no time with the weapon. This is honestly, this is not my account. Shoot, did I multi-hit? No. So that's 319 minus 27. I'm currently borrowing someone else's account to test the proc rate of ET weapon. Because this is what I do. I test proc rates of weapons because people have there's a lot of misinformation that always goes around about proc rates of weapons. So I do my best to dispel that misinformation by having accurate information that's backed by data and statistics. So I don't know. New weapons probably pretty good for Destroyer. I'm not sure how good it is, to be completely honest. I just don't know. Once I get my own, I'll do tests, lots of tests, before and after upgrading, but I do not have my own weapon yet. That was one overhit, so 324 minus 28. And I'm at 6k hits. So I'm slightly higher than expected. On proc rate, but still within statistical deviation. Ugh. I mean, at this point, I don't know what they actually care about besides making money. Arena's been pretty unbalanced since Awakening. They don't seem to be fixing that much at all. PvE is pretty unbalanced, and there's no... Well, they've made some attempts to balance PvE and PvP, but really, I don't know what they actually care about besides making money. I think they might just care about making money at this point, which is really disappointing as a quote-unquote consumer who plays their game. I see chat doing things, but I can't take my... There we go. I can take my eyes off the weapon stack to read chat. Oh, no. No. That's 334 minus 28. Ha. I farmed some beans now. Ready for the moose. Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, I forgot that they did that. That'll be interesting, and that'll be pretty good for the game. But they actually then have to do things with that, as opposed to just doing that. What do you deem as balance, though, in regards to PvE and PvP? I would say plus minus 10% performance in either. Like, everything being within 10% of each other is fine. So, like, if the top class did... Okay, so the bottom DPS spec did 90% of the damage of the top spec, I'd be happy with that. Like, that's like, if it was 95%, that'd be even better. But I'm not expecting perfection. Same thing with Arena. Like, as long as everything has good and bad matchups in Arena, I'm happy with that. And as long as there is counterplay for things in 6v6, I'm happy with that as well. Like, those are my criteria for PvE, PvP, and 6v6. However, currently, the worst... Well, so, on the King Ladder, the DPS event, Destroyer was doing 72% of the DPS of the top top DPS class, the top rank class, which I believe was Winsome or Spirit BM, but 72% of the damage. I mean, the fact that BM, like Lightning BM, 1 second, 37, well, actually, whatever, I'm not even going to mention Lightning BM. 80% damage skills. I mean, the amount of... Actually, I think that 2 escapes are pretty healthy for the game. I think if you were to keep damage, the damage similar to how it is now, but give everyone 2 escapes instead of 1, and have that be the norm, 2 escapes, then I think things would be more balanced. It's either that or you have less damage and 1 escape. Also, aerials need to be very much chip damage and not one-shot damage. Like, you need to be able to chip people down with aerials, not burst them down from 100 to 0 in an aerial combo. Yes, that combo may be difficult or not to pull off, but that shouldn't be a thing. There should be counterplay to large damage. Well, then what? Yeah, BM shits on deaths in Arena. 66, we can stall. That's it. I mean, you do have to keep in mind, Todd, that you do not have insane amounts of gear, and your ping is pretty high. So you have to factor those in to your performance and your experience. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, there's only one way Death can kill BM. Oh, hello, streamer. I mean, hello, viewer. Hello, streamer. Oh, what does my lack of experience have to do with extra? Well, they're not lack of experience, it's a lack of low ping and gear. And wait, are you talking about like beating them in 1v1 or beating them in 6v6? Todd, specifically, because I. Okay, 350 minus 20. So yeah, the whole knee stun thing is, well, actually no. Oh shoot, is it? Yeah, you knee stun. General PvP wise, you want to give one of the best. Just well, no, Destroyer has a second escape. It's called Persistence. No one uses it because we have to get rid of KB Typhoon, or we use it and then we get rid of Fury in 66, and then Earth just doesn't work as a class because we can't use our badge, the VT badge, AT badge, the Mystic badge becomes completely useless. So it's not usable, but it's there. Destroyer already has 2 escapes. FM needs to lose, I think, one of their escapes. I think they've got 3. They either have 2 or 3, and then BM has things and stuff. Okay, FM has 2. I thought they had 3. Yeah, Des has 0 damage in PvE, and the only way, like honestly, Des is strong in PvP because we have lots of tankiness. Lots of tankiness, and that's all we do. We stall in everything. Like honestly, we stall in PvE as well. It's fucking. It feels horrible to play, and it's annoying to play against. Yeah, the random chill stacks is very annoying. Like the ice orbit giving chill stacks is such an annoying mechanic that should not exist. Like it is an anti-fun mechanic that should not be encouraged or exist in this game. Especially when so few classes have ways to remove approach block. It just makes FM such a strong class against pretty much every single melee class. I'm not sure the specific matchups because I don't main FM, but as a general rule of thumb, most approach skills, well, most CCs are approach skills, or a large percentage of them are, and so being able to block approach is being able to block CC, and so it's way too strong. Should not. Yeah, that needs to be fixed. That needs to go. That needs to go. Or it needs to remove the approach block. If it removes the approach block, I'd be okay with that personally. If it just like stacked up to the freeze, which then rooted you, like yeah, that'd still be annoying. But I think if also classes had a better way to deal with roots, and it just lost the ability to block approach, then it would be much healthier as a dynamic in the game. Yeah, okay. For a second, I thought my mic was off because my mind just died inside because I'm that bored, and so I had to check if my mic was on or not. I'm well aware that it is. I just forgot whether or not I had it on. $63 minus 28. We don't know anything. We know literally nothing. It should be coming out. Oh crap! When did Archer get released? Death's third spec should be within like the next 2 weeks or something. Yeah, it's a few weeks back. I need like how many weeks it back exactly? Because so there was a 8-week break or like gap between BM third spec and then KFM third spec in Korea. What is that? 367 minus 28. So that was that. Yeah. That was the working title at that point, and it was Guardian. Now, what that actually means is nothing. Because at that point, I mean, I jokingly have said multiple times before that the Respect Destroyer is going to be no character. They're just going to be a walking shield that catapults feces at enemies doing a flat 2 damage per hit. I saw that Destroyer and Sin are going to be the next two. Yes. Well, I didn't see it. I heard about it. I did not actually see the letter before it was edited to remove those things. But I am aware of that. I am 100% ready for Destroyer to be a walking shield that throws feces that do a flat 2 damage to enemies with a 3-minute cooldown. And part of this is me lowering my expectations so much that I can't actually be disappointed. And then it's also partially me legitimately expecting them to do that. The amount of time the Destroyer existed as a PvE class in this game in Korea, doing the worst DPS of any class, before they added DPS meter back in BT, were yelled at by all the Destroyers because their damage was so god-awful. And they buffed BT Soul Shields right then. They buffed them by, they doubled the modifiers or something. Now, I actually don't know how much of that is true. I have heard all of it secondhand. But it seems like something they do. Yeah. Honestly, for such a long time, they've wanted to, and I quote here, air quotes, wanted to preserve the PvP balance and integrity of Destroyer, and therefore not affect the PvE damage of Destroyer in any way that it would affect the PvP, is annoying. It's incredibly frustrating as someone who plays Destroyer, because essentially PvE was completely given a backseat to PvP when the PvP scene was mediocre. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Okay, so the numbers I'm typing. I'm going to do this while typing numbers. Essentially, I'm counting how many stacks I have. So that's the number on the left. That's how many stacks I've gotten in way too many hits. And then the minus number is how many times I've hit during a 5-stack proc. Because the whole thing that I'm doing right now is I'm observing the proc rate of each weapon. So that is my goal here, to observe the proc rate of each weapon. That's a 4-stack. That's a 5-stack, and I got 2 overhits. Yeah, 2 overhits. So 385 minus 30. So I hit twice during 5-stack. Just there. During 5-stack, you literally cannot stack another. You cannot get another stack. 5 is the max. So I will eventually remove those from the total number of times I've hit, which is currently 7,341 over pretty much 2 hours. And then I will take the number of stacks that I get, divide it by eventually 10,000 after I subtract this number, and I will get the measured proc rate of each weapon, which should be 5%. Currently, it's slightly higher than 5%. It's like 5.2%, but that's within statistical deviation. Deviation can mix Guardian with Earth and make new. They should completely remake Destroyer as a class, because how it functions and works is both toxic for people playing against it, and it feels bad for the people playing as it. Sin does very well in that it's a very silly, they stall well in fights, and they target switch very well, but they do not kill people in groups well. Yeah, like they've got their give and take. Destroyer just excels at stalling and taking damage, but does not do well it. Well, yeah, we can still one-shot people, but with like max gear, I don't think, like with max PvP gear, I don't think Destroyer can one-shot anyone anymore. I duo with the Warden. Wardens are also interesting. I dislike how Warden and Wind Summoner in PvP do not require a CC in order to one-shot you. I very much think, I personally believe, that one-shotting should be tied to a non-aerial CC. It should be completely restricted to non-aerial CCs. Yeah. Honestly, I think 93% of Destroyer is just a mistake that happened to end up that way. And they're like, oh, it does like perfectly balanced in PvP, or like has a 50% win rate in arena, let's leave it the way it is. And that's just the philosophy that they've had toward Destroyer the entire 5-6 years of it existing in Korea. I don't know though. Let's just say that I am a very disgruntled Destroyer man. I don't agree with people being able to one-shot in aerials, because once you're aerial, there's no way to defend yourself. If you get stunned and people are about to one-shot you, you can tab escape it, unless your tab escape is down. But tab escaping is a choice you can make. Once you're aerial, there's no choice you can make in order to interact with the other player. It's entirely whether or not they've got the ping and the skills available in order to one-shot you in the aerial. And I don't agree with that playstyle. I don't think that should be a thing in the game. 398 minus 31. You shouldn't be able to do 9% of damage with a... Yes. 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 Exactly. Like, it should always be a game of mind games where you're trying to get the opponent to waste their escape or their reactive ability, so that then you can use your proactive ability in order to kill them or damage them. Like, especially with Winsome, they've got two main opportunities. Oops. 403 minus 32. For one-shotting, they can cat pin you and they can aerial you. And I don't think that should be a thing. I think you should have, like, unless everyone's got two escapes that can work on both of those kill opportunities, there should not be a way to kill from that game state. Like, either they need to add an aerial escape to the game, or they need to heavily nerf aerial damage. Or they just make it to where you miss 90% of the attacks on an aerial target. I'd actually enjoy that very much. That should actually be the way that they deal with it. They should make it to where things that are aerial, because they're in the air, have 90% evasion that cannot be reduced by accuracy. Well, I mean, every single range class in the game is strong in aerials, except for like maybe one, but I'm too tired to. We're like not thinking to actually be able to remember. But like aerials are busted in that melee classes cannot effectively interact with the aerial target, while range classes can. That is something that is absolutely broken from a design standpoint with aerials. You know what? I should have not clicked there. Um, 417 minus 34. Yeah, I mean, yeah, aerial classes are definitely busted right now. Like BD can do a lot of, Wind BD can do a lot of damage in aerial. Personally, I'm actually fine with like the whole like one-shotting people out of aerial, like as they like right when they drop from aerial, because that's a timing thing, and being able to get that timing down and do it correctly is a skill, and I'm perfectly fine losing like that. I guess it's slightly frustrating, but honestly, it's much more frustrating to get one shot in aerial than to get one shot dropping out of aerial. At least personally. That's an extra hit. Oh, that is not what I meant to do. Aerial classes? No. There needs to be an aerial escape. Or, yeah. Honestly, though, I don't know why they actually added aerials to the game. Just because it's so obviously, like, range favored. Because range classes can attack while a target's aerial. Melee classes cannot. Like, that honestly, this game does not properly reward playing melee classes in PvE or PvP. Yeah, grab is a single skill where the user of the grab cannot properly interact with the grabbed enemy. Like, honestly, grab's actually a pretty good example of what aerial should be. The person grabbing can't really interact with the target. We can minorly, but really it's just a way to stall for cooldowns or to reposition the enemy in order to set up another combo. What am I at? 429 minus 35. Yeah, BD grab has range to it, does not require a CC target, and BDs have more interactability with the grabbed target than Destroyer does. And FM does not have as long as a global cooldown out of onto after they do something with their grab target as BD and Destroyer do, if I remember correctly. Death Grab is the same CD because they do not give a shit. They give zero shits about Destroyer. They really have not cared about Destroyer for a long time. Which is, again, part of the reason why I'm very scared about Third Spec Destroyer. Because essentially they're making a Third Spec for a class that they care none about. They have no motivation to make it any good or give it anything interesting, so I am very scared. I'm so glad I don't have raid tonight. I had raid, I'd be in a world of hurt. Okay, so what is that? 434. No, 433 minus 35. Yeah. So desk grab is the cast targeting of grab is targeted, meaning that you have to have a target in order to cast grab. However, its actual grab is an AoE, meaning if I were to grab a target and flick away, I will not actually grab them. 100% of the time, you try and grab someone and you flick away while grabbing, it will not actually grab them. Because the actual skill is AoE. It is a 1x1 meter AoE. In front of you or something, I'm not sure the exact hitbox, but it is an AoE with a target condition. It is not actually a targeted skill, which is mind-bogglingly dumb. Because they don't care. And I don't think they had actual single target moves. I think originally when the game was designed, everything was AoE. It was just different levels of AoE. Yeah, BD can grab and look away because they're properly single target. Destroyer's not. I want to do it to the boss right now, but I don't want to mess with my data. So I'm going to show you later. If I remember. But no. 100% of the time, you CC an enemy, you hit grab and you turn away, it will not grab them. 100% of the time. Fucking retarded. So dumb. And it's always been like that. It's just a lot more noticeable now because things move so much more. Also, I'm 99% sure BD does not require a CC in order to grab and just... No, BD does, FM doesn't. FM should not be able to grab an unCC'd target. I disagree with that entirely. I do not know whether or not Destroyer Knee is properly single target or not. If I were to guess, I would say not, because they don't care about Destroyer, and that's a reoccurring theme. There we go. So 438 minus 35. You can grab Des is in 3. You get grabbed. I mean, right now, it does not feel rewarding to play Destroyer at all. Also, the fact that Destroyer has 0 base crit. There's only base crit here because fucking Unity stats count as base stats. 0 base crit on Destroyer, and the fact that it didn't ever scale up is infuriating. I understand having 0 base crit at level 45. That's whatever. Having 0 base crit at 50 is weird. Having 0 base crit at 55 is frustrating. Having 0 base crit at 60 is infuriating. Okay, so 442 minus 35. No. And Warrior only got it because of Destroyer. For some reason, they decided zero-base crit was a great idea and decided to give it to Warden. Legitimately, if you were to remove, I don't remember if it's Unity Stones or Unity Stats, but one of them applies as base crit. Or Collection does. Maybe all three. Well, no. It's some Unity stat thing, and then Collection count as base crit in the stats. Legitimately, Destroyer still has zero base crit. We just get quote-unquote base crit from Unity. I think it's Unity base stats and Collection, which is weird and dumb, and also should not exist. How long has Archer been out? I really want to know. Because I want to know about how long until Third Spec Destroyer. This is definitely not the right patch note. That's not the right patch note either. I'm gonna look back at chat and see if anyone knows. Thanks, Todd. I mean, yeah. I think it was 8 weeks after Third Spec BM that Third Spec KFM released. And then I think it was 10 weeks after Third Spec KFM that Archer released. July 12th. Thank you very much. So June 12th, whatever. 1, 2. So we're in the third week. Well, slightly after fourth week. No, so it's been 3 weeks. We're in the fourth week since Archer came out. So about another 4.5 weeks until Third Spec Destroyer at the minimum, if they don't delay it or cancel it entirely. Because they could do that, because fuck Destroyer, am I right? I mean, I have more hope for Sin than Destroyer, but I don't know. I think Third Spec Spin's gonna have another gimmick. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Butterfly Sin. Wolf, KFM, Butterfly Sin. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee or something. They could do that. They don't actually, like, care about the game. You're scaring me. Wait, no, isn't float like a butterfly, sting like a bee a kung fu mantra or something? Why don't we have Butterfly KFM and, like, Wolf Sin? It's not? I got that wrong? Doesn't surprise me. I'm really tired. Like, I've been sitting here doing this for 2 hours, 23 minutes. Well, he's martial arts, so it's more along the lines of kung fu than it is along the lines of assassins, right? So it was generally in the right ballpark if the ballpark was the size of a football field. Actually, you know what? If Third Spec Destroyer is literally just Shield Hero from Tatsuno Yusha, I'd be very happy with that. I love that anime. I absolutely love that anime. Yes, no. If we are literally just Shield class, like screw the axe, we are now Shield class, I'd be kind of okay with that. But only if they add Raphtalia as an NPC as like the destroyer mentor in the Hall of the Masters. Would they get copyright striked? Of course. Would I still love it? Yes. Would I enjoy them being copyright striked? Absolutely. Yes, actually, 100% yes. Yes. Whenever you, when you, the first time that you kill Training Dummy on Third Spec Destroyer, you get an achievement that, as a reward, gives you the ultimate Raphtalia pet. Yes, 100% yes. Please make that a thing. I'm also very hungry. I'm going, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go eat. Oh, I'm almost 1k hits left. All right, so that's, what, 461 minus 35. No, okay. I can't. Okay. No. I just realized that I was hungry because my brain's been so dead for 2 hours. All right. No, it shouldn't be third spec sin. It should be third spec BD, and it should be specifically. It should not be a Lin BD. It should be a Jin or Yun BD only. I'm not even trolling. Like I would actually enjoy the game 10 times more if that were a thing than if it weren't. As in right now. All right, that's an extra hit. 472. No, 467 minus 36. I'd quit Life to Play. Yes, I would sell 1.5 kidneys and spend it all on BnS. No, she's not an assassin though. She uses a sword. Do you ever see her daggering people? No. And then third spec FM just be shit. What's her face? Mel. You know what? I'd be less happy about that than fucking Yun or Jin Raphtalia BD, but it's still good enough. I'd love for Jin Satan to stab me. I'd love for someone to stab me with like a garlic breadstick right now. I'd be really happy about that. No, I'd be very happy if third spec for the Lin classes was locked to a non-Lin race. I'd be very happy about that. 10k test with thought trolling half the stream, so this is what BnS Hard One is really about. Yeah. God. 10k hits without trolling? I mean, I'm not trolling, I'm memeing. But, like, not memeing for 10k hits, so, like, almost 3 hours. Just, like, doing an absolutely mindless activity for 3 hours without memeing. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. How many more hits do I need? -91 -37. One, two, three, five. Yeah. I love that anime. It's so sad that it's done for now. I really hope it gets a season 2 really soon. Probably my favorite anime of all time. It had a good ending too. Like the ending was satisfying. And so many where'd my soul go? It's that bug.
A clan member is connected to the server.
Alright. 496 minus 37, and then read chat. Told that another two. You know, had a soul in the first place, so that's what. Yeah.
A new contract is available at the clan workshop.
I mean, if, okay, so that's what 498 minus 37. Yeah, okay.
Your friend is connected to the
If
server.
it, yeah, I mean, the ending was definitely satisfying, and it left. It was satisfying while leaving room for extensions, and I'm happy with that. I just hope they extend it. $500 minus 37. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, completely. Like if it didn't have a second season, I wouldn't be completely upset. Like I'd be slightly sad because it's a really great anime, but it's not like it absolutely needs one. in order to end the plot. I mean, the plot's absolutely fine without a second season. But there's definitely room for expansion if they happen to want to do that. Oops, that's an extra hit. So 505 minus 38. 2, 3. Oh! That was 4 extra hits. I did not wait that out entirely. Yeah, you can tell that I'm getting tired. That my brain is frying itself. I mean, what do you mean? Yeah, I mean, yeah, this season 2 was kind of disappointing. Yeah, everyone waits for second season, and it's just kind of lackluster. I wouldn't say it's bad or disappointing, it's just lackluster. Then again, with One Punch Man, I would say that it would have been nearly impossible to live up to the hype that was behind it, just because of how good the first season was. 509 minus 42. Don't touch one of those. Yeah. Like, really, I think the problem that they had with One Punch Man season 2 is that they tried to give it too much plot. The really amazing thing about season 1 is that it had like nearly no plot progression. And yet it was still absolutely amazing as an anime. I think they really tried to give it a plot this time around, and it really backfired on them. Because One Punch Man just functions better as an anime when it doesn't have a plot. 514 minus 42. Which is very unique among anime. Like, most anime need plot progression in order to function, and in order to be enjoyable. One Punch Man? Nope. Two, three, four, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel as though they turn, like, the story and the plot was more the focus of the second season than the comedy. Meanwhile, season 1 was comedy primary. So that's 10k hits, but I've got 42 over hits, which means I need to hit 42 more times for 10k data points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to record these. 521 minus 42. Alright, so now I need how many more hits? 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. 5, 23 minus 42. Whew. I'm just gonna do one of these. Get that out of there.
The screenshot has been saved. Your friend has connected to the server.
All right, I'm done. Yeah. Those were the two good points. Everything else was just whatever. All right, I need to go eat. Absolutely. Yeah. The E2 weapon isn't shit. It's got the same pretty much the same proc rate. Like that's a 5.21% proc rate. It's higher than my observed proc rates for the other ones because I got unlucky with the other ones and I got lucky with this one. It's still 5%. They're all 5%. Everything except for Belfour and Seraph. I don't know. Seraph and Belfour was like 7.8% proc rate. So it's probably around 7.5. But whatever, doesn't actually matter. I'm gonna put on this guy's gear again for him before I go and eat a damn cow.
Clan workshop crafting started.
I'm also gonna fix his points. So he had 100 there, 25 in there. And then I'm gonna go back to this one. This is what he did. Whew. No, I'm not a dick. Always surprised with your dedication to this. I mean, it's not dedication. I'm just saving myself a bunch of headache later. Or at least that's what I tell myself when I cry myself to sleep at night. Kappa no kappa. Ugh. Right, now I'm gonna absolutely get off. Because I am... Let's go to extremes like this to prove a point. Sad stuff. Yeah, that's the real sad part. Hit the dummy. Oh wait. Oh, this is what I was gonna do earlier. Now look at this. Ha. You see that? Oh, I did it too slowly that time. Why would I do that? They prove it to themselves with the bullshit they spout. Oh, okay, try knee? Alright. Nope. Knee works as a single target skill. Oops, I didn't do it that time. Just to show that I'm doing the exact same thing with grab and knee. Grab does not work. I knee. Oh wait, what? Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Alright, I'm gonna 1 meter this. Nani? Okay, the fucking destroyer is so busted. What the fuck? And I don't mean busted as in strong. I mean busted as in like legitimately bugged. Okay, this is dumb. This is dumb. This should not. Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? Why? 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 Sorry for the seizure, but why? Why is that a thing? And then why is... Oops, I failed that one. Somebody click this for... clip that. Yeah. Clip this. Send it, put an iPad in a toilet of the CEO of NCSoft and just have it loop this clip with audio, right? Yeah, this is so... Okay, so now I understand why I keep missing knees. Ugh, God. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna... That... And then I failed that one. No, like, Let me try doing it with other skills. Nope. It just looks weird as all hell. Are you kidding me? Wait. Did that actually just happen? No, I flicked too hard. No. Nope. Okay, it's really hard because it zooms your camera in. Nope. But no, you actually can mischarge. What the fuck? No. No way. No way. That's what? Alright. And then I know this one works. Nope, I flicked way too hard there. There's oh. Oh wait. Oh my god. There's no oh my god. Alright. The fuck is this game? You have to be really precise about this. Nope. 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 Wait, am I too close or am I not close enough? Is it a distance thing? So, Cleef has a 3-meter range. I'm now wondering if the actual range is centered on the center of your model, or if it's centered slightly forward. Therefore, if you were to spin around, the 3-meter range wouldn't reach because it's more than 3 meters from the front of my model to the dummy. It is 4 meters. Because I am at the very edge of 4 meters. And therefore, if it's centered on my... Because this measurement here is center to center. But if skills targeted skills are from front of model to center of model, or something along those lines, then that would make sense thematically. Or that would be reasonable for it to exist and be fucky like this. Warsong rotation is dank. I like it a lot, at least in F12. It's nice losing Ember Stomp. Feels bad. Look at my stream right now, though. Death is so fucked. Yeah. So 3 meters is actually, when it says 3 meters, it is actually 3.00 meters to 3.9999, not 32.9, 3.999 meters. So technically I'm at 4 meters. But the way that they measure ranges is fucking weird. Now I'm wondering if it's just Destroyer, if it's all classes with targeted abilities. Because if this is legitimately just a thing, then it's not as bad. But if it's Destroyer only, then it's really bad. Yeah. So, but yeah. So, like, I'm at 16 meters. Now this is actually 16 meters, right? This is, oh crap, I accidentally assessed. So this right here is actually 16 meters. Anything further than this, like I'm now like 16.5, 16.6. Now I'm at 17. But yeah, so it's actually 0.0s to like right before. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna swap characters on this guy's account. I don't think he's actually gonna mind me doing this because this is actually kind of important to test and see, because if it is a thing, then it shouldn't be, and why the hell hasn't someone else reported this and it's gotten fixed yet? Because this is a huge issue. If this is a legitimate systematic thing where this is an error among all classes. Now, what other class could this happen to? I'm actually... Does this guy have an FM? He does not. I want to see if this is a... Actually, no. Because FM, like, range classes are projectiles. So that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen with any of them. I'm going to test with BM just to see. Well, Sin 2F has been bugged for forever. I'm not sure if it's actually this issue or not. It would make sense if it was, thematically. Not like, this makes sense and should work this way. No. It makes sense thematically in that the I don't know what to say, like bounding boxes of targeted skills aren't actually targeted and are actually really weird based on facedness and distances. Yeah, that's been a known bug for the longest. It's been a bug, it's been a known bug for the longest. We don't know if it's actually, if all these bugs, or rather, if this is not technically a quote-unquote bug, but this is a fucking retarded interaction of the game. Or the way I would say it, god-awful coding by people who should have been fired. Okay, so, check these clips out. Well, not just sure CC bugs, targeted skill bugs. No? No? Am I not? No, I'm just trying to see if it hits at all. Oh, God. Oh, God. It's on BM too. I'm guessing it's on every single melee targeted skill. Wait, it's not even a bounding box thing, because this is 4 meters, right? So let's stand at 3 meters. So this should work 100% of the time. And it doesn't. So it's not actually a range bounding box issue, because this is a 4 meter range. This should hit even at 3.99 meters, then change to 4.2 meters, because I turned around and the front of my hitbox is where it's being measured from is more than 4 meters. It should still hit because it's a 4 meter range, therefore it should hit until 4.999 meters. This is retarded. This should never, ever, ever. No, every single melee targeted skill will have the exact same issue because it's not actually a issue, quote unquote. It's not a bug. It's the way that they coded it is dumb fuck stupid. How? No, wait, no, this is a range skill, right? Yeah, this is a projectile. So anything that isn't a projectile can have this happen. So anything that's a projectile or not a legitimately AoE targeted ability. There are any range class ability? Probably yes, because it's a projectile, and therefore the facedness of the caster does not matter. This is horrible. How is this a thing? How does no one catch this? How is this? Okay, they just coded third spec VM. How did they not code it in a way that wouldn't have this happen? Okay, people, spam this to Reddit, spam this to the forums, spam this everywhere. Everywhere. Spam the entirety of Academy with this. Get people angry about this. I'm guessing that it has always been in the game and that they just never noticed because people didn't have enough mobility in order to force this unless you were legitimately flicking away. Because I'm I mean, you're right, Todd. This is not my account, but this is an issue. Like, I can get on my account and do this exact same thing in like 2 minutes. This is an issue that needs to be taken care of. The fact that they've been so negligent as to not have noticed this issue and or fix this issue before we noticed it is inexcusable. How have they managed to code the game this poorly? Like, I understand it's 6 years old, and maybe it'll get fixed with UE4, but it's not a hitbox issue. It's actually that targeted skills are not actually targeted. Because if it was a range thing and they're actually still targeted, then this, being a 4-meter ability, would work. And actually, this would be as well, because it's 16-meter range. So it would still hit, even if I was, like, to flick away, because the range from me to the thing would still be enough. But the fact that it isn't, it's actually that targeted abilities are just very small hitboxes in front of the character is really poor coding. And this is what the hell? Like, is anyone else like actually having a brain meltdown over this, or is it just me? Also, my throat's completely raw because of how much I've been talking and how I've not had water. I really need to eat. I should have been eating a while ago. I really should go eat, but like this is what the hell? Yeah, I'm gonna go eat. God. Well, yes, this is the thing. This shows how much they care about the game. Every single targeted skill, melee targeted, well, any single skill that's targeted and is not a projectile will have this happen. Good night. Even though it's only 6:21 for me, so it's not actually good night. It's just I'm gonna go eat and then probably play Warframe, because Warframe's a well-coded game that I enjoy. Yeah, you're PST. I'm CST. Right. Food.
Your friend has connected to the server.
Just a what? I'm not sure what my... Oh, it just keeps that there because I don't have anything else. Right. I'm going to stop sharing. Thanks for watching me torture myself and break the game.